Welcome back, my loves. This second session is all about fortifying our container. When we work with the alchemist, we're not just working willy-nilly out in the universe. We have to have the tools and the equipment in place. And our container, we have a container in our body, in our lower dantian. Technically, each dantian would be considered a cauldron, would be a container. And so we're going to fortify our own personal containers, right? Our own personal medicine vessels. I think of these containers in Qigong, they call them cauldrons. In my mind, it's a vehicle. It's a vehicle in which I travel. It's a vehicle in which I navigate the mystery. So we're creating this cauldron inside ourselves, which we did in our last session when we were breathing in our center. And we're creating this cauldron, this energetic framework and infrastructure around outside of us. And then we're also creating our co-creative circle together. So this becomes a co-creative experience. So keeping that in mind, I'm going to read you a passage from The Alchemist, and then we'll start our practice. Okay. The archetype for metal is the alchemist. Transmutation is the guiding principle for the alchemist who seeks the perfection of form and function. Through his power of discernment, he distills what is good and pure from what is coarse and primitive. In his striving to extract order from chaos, he molds situations so that people perform their task with elegant precision. Defining and refining. The alchemist is the keeper of standards and measures, the source of aesthetics and moral values, the defender of virtue, principle, and beauty. She is the master of ceremony and discipline, like an abbot ensconced in her sanctuary, serene, detached, unflappable. She instructs us in the meaning of ritual and doctrine, providing the structure that enables people to apply the metaphysical to the mundane. That, to me, is very much like the archetype of the priestess. She's detached. She's unflappable. She's in her center at all times. So keeping that in mind when we do this practice, also bring her here. I know the priestess is with the water, but we're going to connect with the water soon. But she's also very much in her framework. So keep that in mind. And I invite you to find your feet, my loves. Okay. Let's just take a few moments to arrive here. So bringing yourself here with your breath, breathing in, drawing yourself back to yourself. And with your awareness, start to open your perceptions of and become aware of the space you're in. I notice when I do that, I naturally comb through this energetic field. It's as if I'm sensing and feeling this energy around my body with the palms of my hands, through my finger. I'm becoming aware of the light and how the light plays with the shadow, the space between the ceiling and the floor, between the walls. feeling my feet on the floor. Bringing your awareness to your breath, to your belly, to your center. Deep abdominal breathing. In through your nose, out through your nose. In your belly, imagine your center is a magnet. And when you breathe in, you're drawing in like magnetic filaments, magnetizing yourself, back to your center. Drawing your thoughts, your intention, your emotions, all aspects of yourself, past, present, and future, drawing them to your belly like a magnet, to your center. And from here, taking a nice deep breath and bringing your hands and feet in. You're drawing yourself even more here. And standing up tall and with a humble bow, bowing forward, emptying your cup. Letting the top of your head point toward the earth so you can release and let go. Feeling this energy from your head, your doing mind, letting it be set down for now. And along with that intention, that lightheartedness, that beautiful curiosity, place that here as if you're placing it on an altar. And as you feel yourself emptying out, you can go ahead and start to soften your knees and softening your body. And now taking as many breaths as you need to gradually, slowly uncurl. As you breathe in, it's you are filling your body up with life force. You are inflating yourself. And with each breath, you're unfurling, uncoiling your spine. Rising up to the occasion. Rising. Unfurling like a fern in the morning. And once you feel like the top of your head is lifted, you've arrived, you're standing open. Now, imagining to the left of you, there's a threshold, there's a line. You're stepping into our collective circle, into our sanctuary. So when you're ready with your left foot, step in to your circle. And then, so here we are in our co-creative space. So this entire practice will be dedicated to fortifying our container. So let's start by knocking on the door of life. And when you are here in this center point, feel your feet on the earth. And now I'm not shifting my weight from side to side. I'm not doing that. But I am connecting with the earth. And when I connect, it's almost as if I'm pushing off the earth. And this energy rises up through my legs, up through my pelvis, up through my spine. And it helps me turn. So I'm like turning. So as I push off the earth, this energy rises up through me. And then Because of the energy rising up through me, it manifests out through my hands, manifests out through my arms. And so I'm turning from side to side. The top of your head is lifted and there's a central axis. Remember, you're standing between earth and sky. And as you're turning from side to side, feel how your hands are going around you in a circle. This is your horizontal line. This is your sphere. This is your space here. And so let's just be with the movement. As you gently turn from side to side, you'll gradually build a little momentum. Your body will start to warm up and soften. And so you can go and look further and further behind you. Where we're knocking on our bodies with soft, gentle fists, we're knocking on our belt vessel. Our belt vessel on our next session, we'll talk more about that. But this is where your guardian chi comes from, your ability to be balanced, your ability to send energy outside of yourself. Next session, we'll learn more about this. But in the back, you're also knocking on your kidneys, another major organ of detoxification. So as we're turning here, breathing in the white pearly light. Now bringing one hand up to knock your kidneys and one to knock your lungs. Using your clearing breath if you'd like to make the sound. Turning gradually, looking all the way behind you. And now bringing your hand up to the top of your shoulder. When this point is the point for discernment, for clear thinking, lowering your blood pressure, calming stress, thinking clear. And now bringing your hands back down to your lungs. And now bringing your hands back down to your belly and your kidneys. And, autumn is all about letting go. And so just with that in mind, just like there's probably something happening in your life right now that you could just stop giving it attention. You could just stop giving it energy. So let's do that with this movement. Just stop giving it energy. You don't just stop moving. It's just stop giving it energy and let it work itself out. Let it just slow down on its own without you feeding it at all. And you see how your hands can soften, you can stay in your center, this energy can whirl all around you, and you don't have to feed it at all. It takes a minute to gradually find a center and find stillness, but it eventually does. You are left standing with, even though you may not know it, you just activated a bunch of energy in your body and created heat. Alchemists need heat and fire. Sense and feel what you're feeling now that you don't have to give that any more energy. Free. Let's knock on our lung points. Breathing in the white pearly light. So, while we're knocking, I want to talk to you about something. We knock on one side. And then knock down the inside to your thumb and then up the outside. Let's go do this 3 times. So when we're creating our container, we're doing this Qigong practice, we connected with our why. We know that we believe in it, we connect with it, we understand it, it feels really right. We said yes. Let's go to the other side. And so what's inevitably going to happen is we're up to greatness. We're up to great things. There's massive shifts and changes in our lives. Go down and up your arm. And when you're in a massive shift and a massive change, even though we say yes, it's inevitable that we face our fears. And when we face our fears, we contract, and then this beautiful, loving thing called resistance shows up. Coming back to your center. And you know yourself better than anybody else. So thinking about where resistance might show up in your body and in your practice. And normalizing it and knowing that it's completely, we are anticipating it because you're on your growth edge. You're learning something new. Sense and feel. Feeling how these points might be tingling. Feeling how your arms and hands might be tingling. That's how my body feels. And while this is really beautiful because it's showing us the pathway, you can feel the energy in the pathway. It's showing us the meridian line. Moving through your day this way with a bunch of energy here, it's not going to be emotionally stable. You're going to be emotionally stirred up, and it's a lot. So it's not integrated. While it's active and we're bringing awareness to it, oh, look, I just stimulated, I brought awareness, I stimulated energy, right? But now let's integrate this. So then we can work with it as an integrated whole, and then we'll be more emotionally balanced and stable. In the temple, we spend a lot of time in the heart. In Qigong, we don't spend a lot of time in this active heart space because it's so emotionally turbulent, and we want to bring it down. So let's integrate this whole thing. So come to the top of your head. And as we're exploring this energy, I'm just also planting the seed to explore this element of resistance, because your body's going to show you where you resist in this practice right here. So when I'm tapping on the top of your head, there is a pathway to follow. Start in the center in front and go to the back, all the way to the occiput. You stay on that pathway, the center line, front to back. After about 3 or 4 times, you open up spread your hands out, and you're following the same front to back. You're just covering the areas of your head, the sides of your head. Then you make it to the back, and you knock on the occiput, the door of the mouth of the goddess. It's called the jade pillow. And then here, this energy is naturally going to go down. See how your head's tingling? Too much energy in your head. Bring it down. It'll naturally come down on its own, but you just bring it down your back. Bring it down your back to your kidneys. Bring it down your back. Bring it down your back to your sacrum, to your glutes. Really give your glutes. And bring it down the sides and backs of your legs. And notice your body and see where there might be any tension or any pain or any stuckness. In a way, that's a form of resistance. Your body's telling you there's some resistance there. So your body holds resistance. And so your emotions and mind will too. Coming up the insides of your legs, up to your pubic bone, up to your belly. back to your kidneys, and then back down the outsides of your legs. Finding the resistance, like I feel my hips are tight. One more time. Down the outsides of your legs. Up the inside. Once you make it to your kidneys, come back to your belly for a moment. Knocking on your dantian, bringing energy here. And knowing when there's resistance, that's normal. And that's why we're building the container. Because when there's resistance, you come back to your why, you come back to your belly, you come back to the container. And you lean in and listen and love. Okay, now you can stop pounding and sense and feel. See now how your whole body's tingling. This is a more harmonious and balanced way to work. Okay. Let's spread our feathers. In our last session, we spread our feathers. We held our hands here and we focused on our thumb and first finger, creating that tension line. That's the yin channel. Now let's do the yang channel. So I'm going to show you making your hands like this. And as you come back to your vertical axis, back to your roots, head is lifted. When you spread your feathers, you make your mudra and turn your fingers pointing toward you. See how my palms are up and I'm pointing towards. Dropping into the wave breath. Dropping and taking a moment to breathe to your belly, ribs, chest, and the natural fall from chest, ribs, belly, again, belly, ribs, chest. And this time on your exhale, lower your ear toward one side. And complete that exhale by rolling your chin to your chest on that side. Now staying on that side when your inhale naturally comes. Roll your ear along that side all the way back. And explore with your breath as you roll your ear along your shoulder. Belly, ribs, chest. White, pearly light. Releasing. If your body wants to make the cleansing breath with your mouth, this is the perfect time for that. You feel this tension, you feel this tightness. These are called lines of tension, lines of communication. In this line, there's a lot of resistance. How can you soften? And breathe. Opening up these pathways of communication between your brilliant mind your open heart, your truth, and your willing hands. One more breath on this side. Slow and soft. And as you exhale, exhaling out with a sigh, chin to chest, inhaling, rolling up the other side. Breathing in white pearly light into these chi channels that you're opening. Resolving the tension, releasing it with your breath, softening it with your mind. This is the last one. When you exhale, chin to chest. And then when you're ready to inhale, lower your arms and raise your head up the middle. And sense and feel how this pathway, this line of energy has been activated. Beautiful. So let's take our hands just like we had them and bring them to our lung points. Right here under your collarbone. And working with your body, we're going to do a spine wave and we're going to roll our feathers. This is called rooster spreads his feathers. So when how do I describe it? When your hips come forward, your chin tucks, and then as you inhale, you open your spine, roll your shoulders back and open. Your shoulders roll forward as you exhale. Inhale, open, back, forward, closed. Really see yourself as opening and closing the front of your body, and then opening and closing the back of your body. When I inhale, I open the front of my lungs, and then as I exhale, I open the back. Breathing in the white pearly light in through your nose. Exhaling the Z sound if you like. Really bringing your spine into this movement, creating space in between the vertebrae. White pearly light. One more. I said one more, but actually do one more. Just make it super soft and slow. So you're having that transition point, that gradual transition. So you feel like you're coming to a completion with that movement. And when your body naturally exhales, and then when you're ready to inhale, go the other direction. Now you're opening your front And closing your back, but in a new way. Taking your time, exploring your range of motion, bringing white pearly light, soft, full, gentle, healing breaths. This next one, soft, smooth, and slow. And this one more, softer and even smoother and slower. And last one, so soft, so smooth. Letting the breath guide you. Letting your hands fall. Feeling this calm centeredness, this wholesomeness, this wholeness. There's a sense of open, spacious, integrated, sovereign, capable. Bringing our hands to our hearts. As we're creating these containers, our own medicine, we're bringing our heart into this practice. We're standing on our own 2 feet, lifting our head. There's a sense of maturity, a sense of wisdom and courage. And in this circle, we're creating a circle that is, close enough that we feel held in it. And yet it's spacious enough for us to have full range of motion. So let's keep that in mind with our next practice. We're creating the space, right? So coming back to our breath, letting our breath be our guide. So you're going to let your breath come to a place where you inhale. And then when you exhale, let your heart out all the way out to the sides. And now when your hands make it to the side, turn your hands over and I'll show you this mudra. This is actually important. Thumb, this is your lung meridian, large intestine. They're the paired organs we're working with. They're connected. They're in union. Both hands are doing that. Now let me come back to it. Inhale, exhale. Open the doors. Got full range. Heart is open. Turning your palms over, fingers first and your thumb touch. And now you're inhaling and you're drawing the energy back to you. And then you're coming back to prayer hands and you're bowing and you're curling your spine. And so when you open your spine, open your chest, open your heart. And then when you inhale and draw it back to you, this is important. You're not just throwing your heart out there, out into nowhere. When you touch your finger and thumb, you're collecting that energy and containing it. So it's open, it has full range, and yet it's contained. You're still holding it. You're still working with it. You didn't just release it and act and throw it away. It's still in your touch, in your control. And then when you're inhaling, you're receiving, you're drawing in the gifts of the practice, and you're opening and sharing yourself. This is called soaring crane. It's part of a white crane. And so you feel how you have space to open and share yourself. Full wingspan. Express yourself. And you notice how when we're expressing ourselves, we're women in this group. Our chest is out, our heart is out, our breasts are out. And when we receive, there's a humble bow. And so there's this metaphysical aspect to it. And remember, this is all medicine too. So in the medicine way, we're massaging our lungs. That's what improves our immune system. We're bringing energy and oxygen to these organs. So gradually let yourself lower your hands a little at a time with this flowing practice. Like let your hands just gradually float down a little. And what's happening is you're pulling energy and oxygen into different lobes of your lungs. You're activating more spaces. And you're releasing the tension in your shoulders. And you're still creating healthy boundaries. Remember how the metal element is the anchor in the deep center, and it's the part that's farthest outside of you. You're creating your healthy boundaries here. And you're exploring new ways you can express your heart, and new ways that you're receiving your own energy back to you. New heights, new levels. Breathing in the white, pearly light. Dropping into the flow. Remember, letting your breath be the leader. So moving as slow and as soft and as smooth as you possibly can. And now it's starting to move even slower. and softer until you're starting to feel complete. And this time, when you're feeling complete, when your hands come, they don't have to come back up to your heart. Instead, they're gathering this energy and holding it like a round ball. Your feet are rooted. There's a softness, there's a roundness. You're holding your thumb and first finger together in this mudra. There's this beautiful ball of white, pearly light in your arms. Breathing into your belly, letting you sense and feel this energy that you're in contact with. This is your energy. This is your medicine, your elixir. That's why you're creating your own container. And you're going to share some of this with us as your co-creative experience. But this is what you're working with here. Right? And so we need to have a containment for it. Okay, so let's do that. So as we're standing here, connecting with that vertical axis that runs between your crown and perineum, from heaven to earth, straight up and down, up through your spine. And now visualizing through your dantian, right below your belly button, a line running through the front of you and behind you, intersecting that axis point. Running in front and behind you, through your dantian, through your belly. With one line up and down, one line in front and behind. And now another line running from left to right, right to left, through your belly, running from side to side. Your dantian is the meeting place between a line running up and down, front to back, side to side. And in that meeting place, that's the center. Let's create our vehicle from here by pulling down the heavens in 6 directions. First, you'll learn the mechanics, and then you'll get the vision. So here we go. When you inhale up, bring your hands to the horizon line. My hands are face down. When I exhale, I'm giving you instructions, so let your breath just relax for now. But when I exhale, my hands turn up and I turn to the right. I just go as far as comfortable. Now, when I inhale, I gather this energy that's above me. And then I exhale, I return to center, and then I let this energy float down all the way through my body, all the way down into the earth. Okay, so you inhale up. And when I inhale, my body sinks. And once you start to get to the flow, you're turning your palms and twisting and sinking a little more. And then gather the energy, inhaling, exhaling, returning to center, letting this energy float down. That's the mechanics of it. Let's start to create the vision of this being a framework. This is the bowl. This is the base of the bowl, inhaling up. You're in a sphere. Exhaling, turning, twisting. gathering energy from front to back, from above. That's your inhale. Exhale, return to center. Let it float down the center of your body, all the way down. And you see, this is a tube torus. Inhale. Turn. Gather. Create the lid, the top of the sphere. Return to center and let this energy float down. You're getting the hang of it. So inhale. This is your sphere, your magic bubble, no trouble. Going at your own rate and rhythm. Creating the lid to hold the condensation. Alchemists work with fire and water. There's a lot of steam. And then that steam holds the medicinal volatile oils. And that steam, some of it needs to be released, but most of it, it's a refined property. I'm an herbalist. You want to collect the steam. That's how you distill and create potent medicine. You're creating this container in front of you and behind you, to the right and left, top to bottom, a sphere of light, a framework. I'm going to be silent. Let the form teach you. Moving slow and smooth, sensing and feeling how this container holds you, and there's plenty of room for all of you. All of your experience. And there's really no room for the things that you know that you need to leave behind. Those old, outmoded, outdated, they just don't fit here. Like trying to put a square peg into a circle. And only you know what that is. We'll spend another few moments creating this sphere around us so you can really feel the framework, like see the lines, the metal lines that are containing. The energetic, crystalline structure. When I say metal, think of it also as crystals or silver or gold and quartz. Amethysts. One more pass through, and we'll complete this practice. And when your hands float down for the final time, let them float earthward all the way, creating the circuitry. And then when you're ready to inhale, inhale and draw your hands to your lower dantian, bringing yourself back to your center so you have this sphere around you and you have that sphere in your dantian. This sphere in your dantian, I'm going to call your pearl. With time, you'll create and grow your pearl of consciousness here. This is your bio battery, your creative center, your cauldron. You can call it anything you want to call it. It's known by many names. The elixir field, source of medicine, source of all creation. Bringing your awareness here, settling. Mm. Mm. Let's do one more breath, reaching up. This is a completion. Now from here, when your hands float down, you are feeling integrated, feeling complete with the practice. So take as many breaths as you need to. Let gravity do all the work. You're simply following the experience, and you are completing, integrating this entire practice into your cells, into your body, into your life. Feeling everything that does not fit into your vehicle, let it flow earthward. Let the magnetic pull of the earth just draw it out of your sphere. Everything above your hands is clear and calm and healthy. Mm. Mm. Bringing your hands and feet together. Your right hand makes a fist. This is your external part of your sphere, right? Your left hand covers it. This is your internal part of the sphere. It's a paradox. Bringing that place of center and that place of protection. Remember, when you create this sphere around you, there is a feeling of protection, but it's not a stiff border like that's a wall that you just put up. You really created a point of connection, a place where you can connect. You didn't isolate yourself. You actually brought yourself into a harmonic frequency in which it's easier to connect with people and other beings, plants and animals. So as you're in your sovereign sphere, connected to your heart and your dantian, completing your practice, we bow. And as we bow forward, we place our hands into the circle and we bow to each other. We bow to the practice, we bow to the alchemists, we bow to our teacher's teachers, and the teacher within. And drawing that back, that blessing into your body, that humility into your body, And that threshold that you stepped into, feel yourself step back across that threshold and take up space. You're now in your own sphere, and it's been a delight to be in circle with you. Thank you.